Dream It Do It series. It's day 18 and today we are going to be talking about the restorative power of sleep. First up, I want to ask you a question. How do you prioritise your sleep? If you look at your day in terms of a 24-hour period, how many hours do you give yourself for proper restorative sleep? The human body needs sleep to be able to regenerate itself and heal itself and process everything that's happened during the day. So it's really important that we do allow ourselves enough time to get sleep and that we create an environment for ourselves that allows our body to get a good night's sleep. So what are some of the things that we can do to try and ensure that we get that all-important sleep that we need? Firstly, look at your sleep environment. When was the last time that you really assessed your sleeping arrangements? Is your mattress fit for purpose, or could you do with a new one? Do you have good pillows? Is your bed linen clean and fresh? These may seem like little things, but often the smallest of details can affect how we get to sleep and the kind of sleep that we get during the night. As well as your bed, have a look at your bedroom and the environment that you're sleeping in. Is it a restful space? Are your curtains good enough to shut out the light and make sure that you're not getting woken up too early? Is the space around you tidy and clear? A cluttered space can create a cluttered mind, which can cause problems when you're trying to drop off to sleep. So do try and have a tidy up and a clear and make it feel nice and serene and calm around you for when you're going to sleep. Also, are there any electronic devices or lights around you that are distracting you as you're trying to get to sleep? Try to minimise any distractions, and if you can, have electronic devices turned off or not near you as you're going to sleep. Or if that's not possible, at least put your devices into airplane mode at night time. I use my phone next to me at night, but I put it into airplane mode and I use a sleep app on my phone. So that's another tip for you. Consider getting a sleep app on your phone that can track how you sleep, or you can invest in a watch that you wear at night that can also track. I know the Apple Watch will do that. Personally, I don't like to wear a watch in bed, so I don't use that, but I have an app called Sleep Cycle on my phone. Every night just before I go to bed, I turn it on and I put the end of the phone next to where I'm sleeping and it monitors my sleeping, and then in the morning I can have a look at a graph and I can see when I'm in a lighter sleep and a heavier sleep. So there's 3 ways that I can use the sleep app. When I turn it on, I can ask it just to monitor my sleep so I can have a look at it in the morning. Or secondly, I can set an alarm and the app will choose the most appropriate time to wake me up in a window up to and including the time that I've set, based on where I'm at in my sleep cycle. Now I can determine in advance what I want that window to be. I think it's anything from 15 minutes to up to an hour before the time that I've said I need to be up by this time. And like I say, the sleep app will then determine when is the best time to wake me up. Or finally, I can set an alarm and it will simply wake me up at that time like any regular alarm would do. So using a sleep app is a great way to monitor how you're sleeping. It will give me stats over time. The Sleep Cycle app that I use the free version, although there is a paid version available if you want some of the premium functionality. The other thing that I would suggest for a restful night's sleep is to head to bed giving yourself enough time to get a full night's sleep. Psychologically, when you put your head down on that pillow, knowing that you've allowed yourself enough time to get a good night's sleep will actually help you get off to sleep and have a more peaceful sleep than if you're worrying about, I've only allowed myself 5 hours and then I've got to be up again and I'm going to be tired, and all your brain is doing is worrying about what you're going to feel like when you wake up. So plan to get to bed early and also plan for a peaceful wake up in the morning. There are a couple of ways that you can do this. You could invest in a soft wake-up light to wake you up in the morning. I know that there are several on the market. I haven't actually used one of these myself, but I have heard good things about them. I will pop a link for one or two that I've heard of in my Amazon storefront, so that if you want to do a bit of research into those, it's quick for you to find. So you can wake up peacefully with one of these alarm clock lights that starts from a really dim light and gets brighter and brighter to emulate a sunrise. Another way of waking up peacefully is if you're using an alarm clock, say on your phone, or you have an alarm clock where you can specify the tone that it wakes you up with. Choose a very gentle and soothing alarm noise to wake you up, or even perhaps some birds whistling or some ocean waves, or whatever it is that brings you joy and would wake you up peacefully. Another thing that I recommend you do is to work out what is the optimum number of hours sleep for you in any given night. Now, how do you work this out? This is something that you're going to have to do over a period of time. I would suggest that over the course of, say, a month, you pick days where you don't have to be up at a set time the next day, and when you go to bed, make a note of the time that you're going to bed at, or use a sleep app to track it, and then allow yourself to wake up naturally in the morning. When you wake up, have a look and see how many hours sleep you naturally slept for, and do this several times throughout a month. I would suggest on at least 5 separate occasions if you can, ideally more. And then take the average of the hours sleep that you're getting to see the length of time that your body is naturally sleeping for when you don't have to wake up to an alarm. Once you've got that average figure, you can then use that amount of time to know when you're setting an alarm, okay, I need to work back that 8 hours to go to bed 8 hours before. I use 8 hours as an example because that's my magic number. I ideally need to get 8 hours sleep a night to feel rested and restored, and I know that when I sleep naturally without an alarm, that's essentially how long my body will sleep for. Another tip that I learned from a sleep course that I did was when you get up in the morning, take your sheets or your duvet and pull them down so that they're hanging over the end of the bed to allow your bed to air. Then later in the day, come back and make your bed so that it looks welcoming, ready for the evening when you come to settle in. The worst thing that you can do is leave your bed unmade, because it will not look inviting when you come to bed in the evening, and you want to be setting that restful routine for yourself just before you go to sleep. So coming into a beautifully made bed that looks welcoming and inviting is the first step in that process. So I hope that you found this video about the power of getting a restful night's sleep useful. What are your top tips for getting a good night's sleep? Do let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. Don't forget to be subscribed and hit the notification bell so you hear about all my future videos. I'm going to say bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video in my Dream It Do It series, and until then, keep dreaming big.